Now, a couple things before we apply Hydroslick. We are in a shaded environment. It is a little bit hot outside. It's kind of, coming inside. It's a little bit of a warmer day today, but always work on a cool surface and out of direct sunlight. Simple reason for that is because you don't want the product to dry up on you prematurely, and it's gonna make it more difficult to remove it because this is a ceramic coating, so ceramics, they're designed to harden on the surface. So the last thing that you want is for the ceramic to dry on you before you get to apply it. Now, Hydroslick. Hydroslick is a ceramic coating hyper wax. So basically, we've combined the properties of a ceramic coating with the familiarity of a traditional carnauba wax. So for those of you guys out there who have applied our product like our butter wet wax or any kind of liquid yellow carnauba wax, basically we want to mimic the exact same application style. All you need to do is grab a brand new microfiber applicator. Don't use an old janky one that's dirty and has all kinds of rocks and twigs embedded on it. Grab yourself a brand new applicator because trust me, the brand new applicator is going to save your life. That way you don't scratch your paint with any old applicator that you may have lying around. Put yourself about 4 small drops, and then I want you guys to work in small sections at a time. Don't apply it to the entire hood all at once because, like I said, depending on the size of your vehicle, is really going to determine how much of it you want to apply to a certain section at a time because you don't want it to dry up on you. In this case, I'm doing like this little, I guess 1/4 of the hood, the little section that we did when polishing, applying a cross-hatch motion, left, right, up and down. And another key thing is never, never, never over apply the product. So even though it barely may be visible to you, don't worry about it. As long as your applicator is wet and you can kind of see like where you've applied it at, you'll be fine. Don't go the extra mile thinking that if you apply more of the product, it's gonna give you more shine and protection. It does not work like that. So now that you've applied it, normally you wanna let it sit from anywhere from about 30 seconds and up to 2 minutes. Since today is more of a warmer day, you can kind of tell by all the sweat on my forehead, we're gonna go ahead and wipe it off in as little as 30 seconds. So from the time that I started applying it to right now, which I don't know if you guys wanna give me a timestamp, I would say 3, 2, 1, should be about 30 seconds now. So grab yourself a microfiber towel and wipe it off. Now you'll know that you did it right because whenever you start wiping it, it should come right off very easily. You'll know if you did it wrong if it becomes very sticky. If you feel it's sticky, you're just gonna have to bear through it because you may have over applied the product or you applied it onto an unprepped surface. So that's usually just because the product gets embedded on the surface, like on the contamination. If you didn't clay it and polish it, odds are that the product may have stuck onto those contaminants and it's a little bit rough to apply. Or like I said, you may have over applied it and applied too much product at once. But that's perfectly fine because if you did apply a lot of product, a lot of that stuff should still be on your applicator, which you can go ahead and just easily stretch to another section like the section right next to it that I didn't cover. And just from those 4 dots, as you guys can see, I'm spreading this out very evenly. Left, right, up and down in a nice cross-hatch even motion because the more even you have it, the better. And well, that is basically curing right there. One thing I do want to talk about is your choice of towel. Now you guys may be wondering what towel I'm using. Now this towel right here specifically is a professional grade microfiber towels. One side has a short pile and the other one has a high pile. Now normally to remove Hydroslick, I recommend using the short pile. This is a lot easier to go ahead and remove the product. And then if you want to go ahead and buff off any excess, go ahead and simply grab your towel, flip it to the other side. I like folding it in 4s and buff off any remaining residue sitting on the surface. And just like that, you've applied Hydroslick to your vehicle. It's not that hard. Really the hardest part is getting to the point where you actually start applying it because if you think about it, you gotta wash your car, dry it, clay it, polish it, prep it with our Wipeout surface cleanser, and then the easiest part is applying Hydroslick. So now that this is basically done, all I have to do is basically apply it to the rest of the hood, which I'll go ahead and do right now. So now that we're done applying Hydroslick onto this side of the hood, now it's time to let it cure. So in order to let it cure, we want to go ahead and just let this sit. Don't touch it, don't spray anything on it, don't wipe it down, don't look at it. I mean, you can look at it, but just don't touch it. And we're gonna allow that to sit for 3 hours at minimal, and then we're gonna come back and show you guys the results. Now, really what we're gonna see as far as the results is that the right side, the coated side, you're gonna see some intense hyperactive water beading, as opposed to the left side, which is untreated, unclayed, unpolished. That's still gonna be sheeting, kind of like how we show at the beginning of the video. You'll see it just sheeting water, the water sticks to it, and that's not a good thing, because the water is sticking to it, then the contaminants that land on your vehicle are as well. And as you guys can see, or not really see, but I can go ahead and feel it with my hand right now. And one thing I'll tell you right now is that this thing is super slick. Like, my hand's just like hovering all over this paintwork that we just applied our Hydroslick to. And that is a great thing. It's actually gonna get much slicker once it fully cures. So we're gonna let that cure for about 3 hours, and then we'll come back and show you guys the results. One thing I did wanna bring up is if you do wanna apply a secondary coat, such as if you wanna layer your protectant, then we would recommend that you wait at least half an hour from your first coat, after wiping off the first coat, before applying a secondary coat, and then the process just restarts. So after you apply that secondary coat, you wipe it off, give it 3 hours, set a stopwatch, whatever you wanna do. For best results, I would honestly recommend that you leave it parked in your garage or in a shaded environment where it's not gonna be touched for up to 12 hours. Because like I said, even after that 3 hour mark, your hydrophobic properties and the protection that you're gonna get from this is gonna continue to better as it cures.
3 hours later.
All right, guys, so it's been about 3 hours. So right now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and remove the blue tape. We're gonna pull it outside and show you guys the results. All right, guys, and just like that, we're all done with this video. We showed you guys today how to wash your vehicle, clay it, and polish it, and prepare it in preparation for our Hydroslick ceramic coating hyper wax. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to give us a huge like, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and as always, if you guys want to pick up any of the products that you guys seen in today's video, they're all going to be listed in the description and pinned comment down below. And if you guys want to pick it up in person, you can pick them up at your local detail garage store. As always, my name is Joey. This is Chemical Guys. We'll see you guys next time.